Hello everybody and welcome back to Fortnite. Today is finally the day where you guys get to see the next 4 seasons of House Island. It's been over a year. This video was supposed to come out a month ago, but there was some technical issues. But I do appreciate you guys waiting for so long. Sorry it took so long, but today's the day. House Island Season 5, Season 6, Season 8, and Season 7, plus a bit of extra stuff. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. Welcome to Season 5. Season 5 took place like a year ago. Season 5 contained the Christmas time last year, and was kind of themed around the prism. It's kind of similar to Chapter 2 Season 5 and Chapter 1 Season 5, because it originally was gonna be like a season where like weird things kind of happened because of the prism being exposed, but that kind of went away after Christmas took over. But this season we have one new location over here, which is Salty Suburbs, and I'm going to be showing you guys Salty Suburbs, which is literally right over here. Alright, so here we have Salty Suburbs, which is a very small location, but it's next to Sloppy Springs, which is over here, and it has a gas station, 3 houses, is over here in the corner of the map, and it's right next to Spawn Island. Actually, there's probably swim there, but that's why I added a barrier, because so that you couldn't get to Salty Suburbs before the game starts. Salty Suburbs is also another example of a location that I brought back from many moons ago to give it another shot. And I showed off Salty Suburbs in the last House Island video when we went over old House Island versions, and Salty Suburbs was actually in there. But here you can see how Salty Suburbs looks modern day. Just over here past Salty Suburbs we have a new landmark called Seaside Stage, which was added because of jam tracks. I thought it'd be cool to have like a place you can come to like play your jam tracks and stuff, so I added Seaside Stage. And right now it's kind of boring, but in Season 6 visuals over here get overhauled, so yeah, it looks a lot better. Also Season 5 added Maple Mountain over here, which is just like a modular mountain thing full of maple trees, this is the I'm also going to reference the old House Island versions video. This is the exact same area that used to hold Erie Estate. This is the terrain that used to hold Erie Estate, but I didn't bring Erie Estate back. I just put a mountain here instead, and I think it looks kind of nice. There's a chair up here, just kind of looking over what it can see, I guess. And originally it was just gonna be like the area that held Erie Estate that was gonna be here, but then I added this area over here. We have the prism over here, which is like, it kind of looks like it's supposed to look like it's like cracked. It's kind of unstable. This was pulled up from the sea at the end of Season 4. The OG building was taken over by a organization that we don't have the name of yet. It was being used as sort of like a base to monitor the prism. That's why there's like telescopes and security cameras and stuff, because it was just an old rundown building. Also mentioned this in the old House Island video, but Breezy Bungalow got revamped in season 5. Here's how it looks. The interior is less open. I added some walls here, and there's the kitchen is much better. You know, the dining room over here, the laundry area, I guess, but not much changed. I did add this area, this little lounging area, because this bedroom was really long, but nothing else really changed. It's the same exact layout. It's basically the same building. Also, during Season 5, this building from Staggering Skyscrapers rifted in because, like I mentioned in the old House Island video, because I'll probably be mentioning that a lot, there's a building in Staggering Skyscrapers that rifted away, but now it's here. This is the same building. It's in a similar area-ish. I mean, I think if it were to be in the exact same spot it was in, it would be like over here, but there's a road there, so I didn't put it there. So at the end of the season, into Season 5, I added this little weather station that was supposed to, like, tease... It was, like, build up for Season 6. Because Season 6, there would be a giant storm that would cause big map changes, which you guys will see here in probably a few minutes. It replaced a little house called Lonely Home, I think. And the storm that it was predicting is actually over here. You guys may have noticed I was ignoring it, but if it'll load, here it is. The storm, big giant cloud that's supposed to represent the big storm. So funnily enough, with the launch of Fortnite Chapter 7, there is now a landmark on the map in the mountains that shares Storm Station's name. They're both named Storm Station, and coincidentally, they're both weather stations, which is a really big coincidence because this Storm Station was released, or was added in January of 2025. Fortnite's Storm Station was added in November 2025. But that's just kind of a funny coincidence that we have here. There's also this is also when Christmas took place, so a big portion of the map was covered in snow. Unfortunately, I don't have that version with me, but I'm going to put up a few pictures and put a picture of the map. And it added Merry Mini Mall and Jolly Junkyard, which were just Christmas versions of Janky Junkyard and Marvelous Mini Mall. And then Spunky Smokestacks, Beefy Boardwalk, and Handy Highways got Christmas decorations, and were covered in snow. I want to mention that Season 4 added this, like, wasteland, like, drought area, which caused Handy Highways to become Scratchy Scraps. But in Season 5, Handy Highways was rebuilt, and Handy Highways was restored. But also, in addition to Handy Highways being rebuilt, Janky Junkyard was also rebuilt and repaired. And it is apparently missing some walls here. I don't know why. They are not there. Well, that's it for Season 5. I mean, it was kind of almost a filler season to get to next season, which was going to be lore relevant. But to show you guys next season, I'm actually going to have to go into UEFN because I don't have the flooded version of Season 6 in 1.0 anymore. So let's go right to it. Welcome to House Island Season 6. Now, as you can tell, Season 6 was based off of Chapter 2 Season 3, where there was a giant flood. I mean, that island's flooded. There's water everywhere. There's some locations that are on floaties, some that aren't. It's just a matter of... It was just random locations, honestly. But this season did introduce one single new location that replaced Central City. So here we have Sunken Settlement, which is basically just Central City, but there's two buildings on top of the floaties. So there's this Noms, and there's also the gazebo area that are on top of floaties. Castle Tower here has been turned into some kind of like a refuge area where, like, you know, people are living here. And each floor kind of has something different. And up here is, you know, they get solar power from the top because it's the tallest building in the whole city area. And then the clock tower got turned into sort of like a, it can still function as a clock tower, but it's also a lighthouse. So you can, so like, you know, because obviously there's a lot of water, there's probably a lot of boats coming through here, and you want to be able to know, you know, where the land is, or where this, especially where this is, because, you know, this is destroyed. I mean, it could be really bad for the citizens here. This apartment building was turned into like a, I guess this is where like they catch food and stuff, like fish and crates that are found in the water. Over here we have Handy Highways, which is now on floats. I'll show you all the locations that are on floats. So the first one here we have Handy Highways. Over here is almost a janky junkyard. This is Beefy Boardwalk. Is now on floats. Storm Station is also now on floats. Cactus City is here, but not every building was put on floats. Like the bank, the bakery, the factory, and the Cactus Monument were not put on floats. And technically, the apartment building was like, it was an attempt. They attempted to put it on floats, but it didn't really work out. So instead they just built like this building on top of it to temporarily house civilians until the water goes away. So instead they like put this little like area on top until the floodwaters go away and everyone can access their apartments again. Although whoever lived in this top apartment was very lucky because their apartment is not flooded, and there is direct access up here, and they can get anywhere else through this area. This little military building was brought up, the police station was brought up, as well as the pet store, this house, storage facility, town hall, and the food store are also all brought up. Colorful Crossroads is also a location that was put on floats. The only buildings that weren't was the little gazebo here and also the other gazebo right there. But all the houses and the playground were spared, as well as the outdoor equipment store and the power station. Fantastic Freight is pretty much completely underwater. Only the little barge here managed to not go underwater because it floats. But yeah, Fantastic Freight did not really survive. Financial Factories is also completely underwater. Salty Suburbs from last season was spared. Even the gas station was brought up, which I think this is the only place where the gas station was brought up. Seaside Stage was brought up, and also I also improved the effects here. I think I mentioned that in the Season 5 portion. But you know, there's the lights here now, and there should be confetti, but for some reason the effects device, or the VFX device, is like broken in UEFN for some reason. I don't know, Epic Games likes to break things. Happy Springs is here. We saved the noms, the slap building, and the two houses, so the gray one and blue one. Which with the gray one I actually redid a little bit. Well, not redid it. Well, I added some like plants here and some extra fences, as well as back here I added the plants and, you know, redid some of this area back here. This nom store from Peaceful Pond was also saved and has like this little area so they can get goods and stuff. So is the house from Peaceful Pond, is floating almost directly above where it was. Smoggy Smokestacks was spared, at least the main building itself. The smokestacks are no longer functional because there's nothing to connect them to. I didn't mention this because so this wreath is really the only thing left of Christmas 2024, because it was like they dropped it and it perfectly landed here, and they can't get it off, so it's just kind of there forever now. But there's this little area up front here to pick up supplies, and then this boat right here sank while carrying supplies to Smoky Smokestacks. Maybe once the water's gone, it'll be able to, or well, they will be able to get the supplies back. Fish Family was not spared. Same with Decent Docks. It was not spared. It is completely gone. Breezy Bungalow was not spared either. Staggering Skyscraper over here wasn't spared, but it is peeking out of the water, so you can loot the very top apartment if you wanted to, but the rest of the building is underwater. Since we didn't start over here, but here's Spawn Island. It's on a little container. Well, I don't know why I said container. It's on a little platform carrying all the locations that aren't underwater. So, because if you go over here, you can see all the locations that are underwater, which are Marvelous Mini Mall, Fish Family, Janky Junkyard. Flooded Factories was actually planned to be a named location, but it wasn't. But I still changed it under here, so Financial Factories, Fantastic Freight, and Decent Docks were not spared. So yeah, that wraps it up for the beginning of Season 6 with the flood. This is what it looks like. Like I said, the reason we're doing this in UEFN is because I don't have it in Creative 1.0 anymore. Before we go, I would like to mention that the Prism went into hiding again. It's now underwater here, back in the ground. Although this time it is peeking up out of the ground a little bit. Last time it wasn't, because it wasn't able to go as deep. But it protected itself from the flood that it caused, by the way. The Prism did cause this flood as a distraction from anyone who was trying to study it. So, just to distract them and have them deal with this. And in turn, it kind of messed up the whole island and all of the people who lived here who had nothing to do with messing with the Prism. But yeah, that's it for the start of Season 6. Now we're going to be moving on to after this. So after the floodwaters receded, I'm going to be showing you Season 6, the end of Season 6, really. And yeah, let's hop on over there. Alright, so now we're back in Creative 1.0. I'm going to be showing you guys how Season 6 looked towards the end of the season. So the first quote-unquote new location, I guess, is Soggy Settlement, which is just sunken settlement, but it's not in the water anymore. It's not a great location because it's basically just Central City, but like due to memory reasons, I had to empty out the buildings. Like they don't have any props in them because of memory, because House Island's tight on memory. So like in here, there's like nothing in here. The only areas that have props are like the areas that were higher up out of the water, like up here. But like even this area doesn't have any props, and this building has props because it was floating. So yeah. Towards the end of the season, there was build up for Season 7, which included these shards that were launched from Cactus City after an explosion, and one landed here in the gas station at Soggy Settlement, completely pretty much just destroying this place. And one landed at the gas station in Fish Family, because apparently the prison doesn't like gas stations. And then this one landed here at Decent Docks. Now they all, like I said, they all originated from Cactus City here. After Cactus Inc., the company based out of here, was doing experiments on prison samples they got, and well, it went horribly wrong and their entire lab exploded, causing this crater and destroying the apartment building here. And then it sent shards flying over there. And then there was some cleanup here going on in Peaceful Pond, where they just cleaned up a lot of the debris that was just under the lake, and also were destroying, or not destroying, well, I guess they were destroying, but getting rid of this road that led nowhere, because it was just kind of useless to make the area look a little better. So like this gazebo roof from the bottom is getting picked up. There were trucks that were transporting some debris that was picked up, like this one, that one over there, is there. I don't know where the other ones are. There is one right here. There is this one picking up this caravan, and then this one. So here in Sloppy Springs, we have the blue house that was taken over by the unnamed group that took over the OG building last season. They basically turned it into their own base of operations. So in this room here, they were still kind of like unpacking. You know, there's a lot of stuff covered up and crates and stuff. So they were unpacking still, but they boarded up all the windows so no one could see in, and set up some communications devices, or I guess dishes? Why am I blanking on what these are called? Here we have Seaside Stage again, which I already showed you guys the the upgrades to the environment I made, but this is how it looks on the ground rather than floating. But it just has like a more, what's the word, like sort of concert-like vibe to it, rather than just being like a random stage. But this is, Seaside Stage is probably one of my favorite landmarks. So yeah. So now it's time to look at Season 7. Season 7 was a very lore-heavy season. It changed a good bit of the map, and it introduced my favorite location I've ever made. Well, maybe. It's one of my favorite locations ever made, which is the location that I teased at the end of the last video, where I showed pictures of it. But now you guys are going to see the full location. And unfortunately, if you liked Central City or Soggy Settlement as it is in Season 6, you're going to be sad to hear that this location is going away to be replaced with the new location, and is gone. No more Central City. It wasn't really that good anyway. So yeah, let's go look at it. Why is there a tree in the ground? So now we are in Season 7, which was titled Overgrowth, which was based around the Prism after it was forced out of its hiding place again after Season 6, and basically caused this whole new biome to bloom around where the shards landed last season. So one shard landed here on Spawn Island and caused this entire island, or this entire area, excluding the Pine Tree area, to become purple. This season introduced 3 new locations named Prism Pier, Fishy Forest, and Dreamy Drive. And since Dreamy Drive is the big new attraction, I'm gonna save Dreamy Drive for last. It's gonna be the last location I show you. The first location we're gonna look at is Prism Pier. So now we are here at Prism Pier. Now you look at it and you realize Prism Pier is literally just decent docks. And while I say yes, technically it is just decent docks. It is, what is my dog doing? It is decent docks, but decent docks, I revamped it a little bit. So first of all, I added this entire new building here. It's a taco stand. It's right outside. It was added to give the location a bit more stuff, like a bit more like loot-wise, and also just in general. Like there's bathrooms in here. The kitchen is in here, and then outside, you have Prism Pier. Replaced some of the boats with more updated ones, and even some of the sailboats that were added in Chapter 6. Global Gazebo got removed and revamped, so like this one, which I like better. The Prism is back. It's way higher than it was in Season 5 and 4. And the these little pieces of stone also began to overgrow. The tree circle here is now purple, and the OG building is also now in the purple biome, which I don't think I mentioned during Season 6, but when Season 6 launched, the OG building was abandoned again. So it's all empty, and there's some remains, like here's all the chairs from, the base that was here, and also like the telescopes are still here. The Prism, I don't know if this was, I might be a little dumb, but I don't remember if this was a thing in Season 5, but there is a skydive volume around the Prism, so then when you go near it, you can fly up, and you can use it for location. So we could like go over there, or you could go to our next location, which is Fishy Forest. Now, Fishy Forest is basically, it's fish family, but it's been overgrown by the purple trees. It's been damaged and destroyed, like, you know, a tree grew here, destroying this half of the gas station. A tree grew through the middle of the garage here and completely broke through the roof. This tree broke the side, it's hard to see because of the leaves, but this tree broke through the side of Fish Apartments. And it just kind of destroyed this area. And this building was partly destroyed here on the side. And then I added these like purple lights. I don't really know why. I just kind of thought they gave a cool atmosphere. Like, I just like they're like kind of flickering, so it's kind of like destroyed, but it's also like it's kind of gave a cool like feel. You know, you look up here and you see the purple light. So it's just kind of some little cool thing about this location. I don't really know if it means anything, but it's just kind of cool. It's kind of a cool little thing. And the last location added for the launch of Season 7 was Dreamy Drive. So Dreamy Drive is the new sort of main location that replaced Soggy Settlement. Something that was kind of a point of this location was that there are no prefabs in this location, unlike half of the locations on House Island that have prefabs. This one does not. That's all original buildings that I built myself. They're all buildings I built myself. So like over here we have this like computer cafe. It's a computer cafe. I mean, there's not much else to it. In here there's bathrooms. Here we have a house, blue house, which, you know, I do like this. I do like all the houses that I made here. I think they're all pretty nice. But like here's the bedroom. There's another bedroom, bathroom, and just kind of upstairs area. There's this gray house here, which you walk in, you have the living room, the dining room in here. The kitchen is like kind of in here, kind of like in between. This area just kind of acts as a hallway to get upstairs to go to the two bedrooms here and here. We have this greenhouse, which you walk in. I guess would this be like, I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. We have the living room here, the dining room here, and the kitchen in here. And then we have a laundry area here. And if those are floating for a second. Up here, it's just kind of a landing area. And then we have the bedroom here with the computer and a bed, obviously. It's a bedroom. Here we have the red house, which is, you walk in, have the living room, and then over here is the dining room and the kitchen with the fridge that's on the back of the wall. More laundry right here by the stairs, I say it like that. Here we have the bathroom, and then here, and then the bedroom, which is actually got two beds. So right here we have the ice cream parlor, Softies. It's over here, ice cream. It's like on the edge of the island, so like you can come out here and kind of look out on the ocean, and look over there too, I guess, at the junkyard over there, if you wanted to. But you get ice cream here. These are two bathrooms. I feel like I don't really need to show them. Here is the apartment building. This was the last building I made for Dreamy Drive. Here's the main lobby area. This is where you like this is like the front desk, and then here's like you can get like drinks and maybe coffee in the morning here, I guess. Upstairs we have two apartments on both sides. So we have this apartment. There's this apartment. This apartment. and this apartment. Very simple. They're only 3 tiles wide. The building itself is 3x3. And you go up here, this is just roof access. So you can get to the roof. Or if you're playing this like a Battle Royale, you can jump down to the computer cafe. This building is the clinic from the Minecraft Cities world that I still need to work on making the video on. I'm probably going to work on that with Destroyer at some point. It's actually from Cactus City. It's kind of empty, just like it is in the world. The scaling's kind of off because of how the scaling is here and how different it is in Minecraft. But each of these rooms is like a doctor's room, or where you go to get your like a checkup, I guess. So, and then up here, not really much else except a missing railing. Hopefully, it's not like that in the current version. Back here is the shard that hit Soggy Settlement, but the gas station is gone. The only bits of the gas station that remain from Central City / Soggy Settlement are pieces that were in the rubble. So this is the only remains of that location. So there's still some representation of it, but other than that, it's completely gone. We have a little lake here with a pier that you can go out. You can buy fish, maybe go for a swim. Just do whatever you wanted. Over here is sort of the main shopping area. So first of all, here we have a McGuffin's, which is a library. You know, it's not that much, but it's cozy to the library. You can get your books. Check them out right here on the floating cash register. Across the street we have Nom's, which is a grocery store. You can buy all your groceries here, from like frozen goods, like these bottles, and just pretty much anything, soft drinks, toys, magazines. Here is a vacant store, which used to be a slurp store, but was closed, and there's a lot of boxes in here. There may or may not be homeless people living in here. That's up for you to decide. It's the sign from the slurp room. There's also the other sign. Like, this sign would have been like in the back here, and then this sign would have been in the front. It would have been like up here or here. There's just a bunch of furniture and everywhere and stuff everywhere. Next door we have a pizza pit. Just your regular pizza place. You got your drinks over here, the kitchen back here. With a sneaky little chest back there. Probably need to break stuff to get to it. You got this area here in the front, and then we got the big shots across the street, which is the coffee store, coffee shop, whatever. You got your coffee here. You can sit down here. You can get some other stuff here. And here's the bathroom. And then there's just a slab juice truck right here, which you can go inside of. And this is the entrance to Dreamy Drive up here. So now I'm going to show you guys the Halloween version of Season 7. But to do that, we're going to travel back in time to October, because I don't have that version of House Island anymore. So let's go. Hello everybody, and welcome to the past. Oh, that was my chair. When I am recording this section of the video, it is currently October 19th, 2025. It is 2:31 p.m. and today, right now, I'm gonna be showing you guys the Halloween version of House Island. Ooh, spooky! I know, since it's part of Season 7. And I probably won't have a copy of this by the time I get around to actually touring Season 7. So, the only new named location is Gloomy Gourds. So, let's go check it out, shall we? It's quite gloomy. Alright, welcome to Gloomy Gourds. Now, you may have noticed that this is just Janky Junkyard. And you'd be correct. This is Janky Junkyard. But it's been repurposed into something like a fall festival-ish type thing. So there's like a gazebo here. There's a pumpkin patch. And you can get all your pumpkins here. Maybe you want this pumpkin. You know, maybe you can take the pumpkin and bring it to the table over here, and my UI can start glitching out. Hello. Okay, we're good. You know, the pumpkin over there. Maybe if you brought kids, you can have them go play over here at the swing set if it'll stop lagging. This isn't a swing set, this is the swing set. You can play on the swing set, the seesaw, the slide. I guess you could climb on these. There's food trucks over here, so you can get some Durr Burger. You know, maybe you're hungry. Also get ice cream. And like I said, there's pumpkins. It's right by Dreamy Drive over there, which is definitely which is so good that the memory hates it, if you can't notice by the memory up there. And then this is just the office from Janky Junkyard, but it's been abandoned after the flood from Season 6. It's just a mess in here, and they didn't bother fixing it. Well, Hey Boo bought the place after Janky Junkyard was abandoned, and they didn't bother fixing up this, which... oh well. But I can show a picture of what Janky Junkyard looked like at the beginning of the season, when it was all abandoned and boarded up. As that looks now, in like 13 days, this place will probably be gone forever, because I doubt this will ever come back. Because by next Halloween, we'll probably be on Chapter 2. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Alright, so this wasn't the only thing added for Halloween. There were a few other smaller things. So if we go over to Peaceful Pond, you can see it is now red. And it is now called Paranormal Pond. And when you... what's happening? Okay, well that was weird. Anyways, if you go jump in the water, you get the dashes. Oh gosh. You get dashes, just like the I don't know what they're actually called, but the dashes, so you can press jump twice and it dashes you, but it also makes you fly. And then the same thing happened up here with Crystal Creek, which is now Creepy Creek, which is just red. And then also the autumn biome expanded, so now Salty Suburbs over here is in the autumn biome, as well as Seaside Stage, which also is changed a little bit. I made the confetti there, it's now purple and orange for Halloween, and the lights are also purple and orange. They'll probably be reverted back after, but the autumn biome is probably permanent. This is probably permanent. I don't know if I'll ever change it. You guys will probably know, because, you know, I don't know what the last version of this season is going to look like, because it's not made it there yet. Lastly, we got a new landmark over here. We got Grim Graveyard, which I think looks pretty cool. It's just a little graveyard right next to Colorful Crossroads right there. It's pretty spooky. I think there's ghosts here, like the ghost effect, if there's not supposed to be. But yeah, I think I did a good job with the ambiance here. It's pretty spooky. And I don't think anything else changed for Halloween. It wasn't like a huge update, but you know, it's there. It exists, I guess. Actually, Grim Graveyard was going to be Gloomy Gourds. Like, Gloomy Gourds was going to be Grim Graveyard. But then I wanted to make a fall festival, so I just made Grim Graveyard a landmark instead. But, you know, originally, like, this entire back area would have been a giant graveyard. And this probably would have been like I don't know, whatever else a graveyard has. Maybe, like, could have made, like, a makeshift church in here. Actually, that could have probably worked, because it's quite long. But that's about it for Halloween. Also, if you haven't noticed, there's a slight purple fog. I think that really adds to the atmosphere. And it actually kind of adds in the purple biome too, because all the trees are purple and there's purple fog. You know, gotta blame this all on the prism because it loves changing the weather. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Halloween version. Anyways, that's about it for the Halloween spooky version of House Island for this Halloween. We didn't get to see it. I didn't get to show it off last year because it was already over by the time the video was made, but this year I wanted to show it off before I made the videos, that way you guys get to see it. But anyways, that's all there is. I'll let you guys go back to the regular video now. Bye. So now we are back in the present day. Hope you guys enjoyed that Halloween time. So here we have a new location here named Dirty Dump. So Dirty Dump is pretty much just Janky Junkyard, except after Gloomy Gorge. Because I didn't mention this, but Janky Junkyard, when it was flooded in Season 6, was actually abandoned. And at the beginning of Season 7, it was all boarded up and stuff. And then it was bought by the Hey Boo Company and turned into sort of a Halloween/fall festival park thing. And then afterwards, when they all cleaned up and took everything out, this place was used as a dump to dump all the stuff from Peaceful Pond. Just kind of put it here because no one cared about it. There's still some remains, like the gazebo is still here, this playground is still here, and like these areas back here that were kind of hidden are also the exact same still. All the Halloween decorations are gone, and it goes under Dirty Dump now. There is one more location that was added in Season 7, but before we go there, I do want to look at this bridge here that was added to connect Dreamy Drive to like this area of the island, so Dirty Dump and Handy Highways. But now let's go see the next location. So here we have Financial Facility, which is Financial Factories, but taken over by the unnamed corporation from Season 5. Now, if you couldn't tell, the location is kind of empty. You know, the crates aren't out here anymore. You go in here, there's not too much in here. There's some still in here, and crates and stuff. But for the most part, the location's been emptied out. And that is not because these people emptied out. It's because I hadn't emptied it out because of memory reasons. If you look up at the top, you see the memory is nearly at max, even with the extra like 10,000 memory that they gave us a while ago. It is nearly maxed out, so I barely had enough memory to put this place in. Like, it was just this room alone caused so much memory. But in this room, they were researching the prism, its behaviors and stuff, and like it's kind of like a mini research lab until they could make their own research lab. They just made this area, and then they were also studying these trees that randomly popped up here. They figured out they had some correlation with the prism because these trees look unlike the trees around, and they were like, huh, you know, that's kind of weird that these trees just popped up here. So they're seeing what they are. Now that is all for Season 7, which was one of my favorite seasons of Chapter 1. Dreamy Drive is one of my favorite locations of all time. But now it's time to move on to the current season, which is Season 8. So now, welcome to Season 8, which is the current season of House Island as of recording this. This season introduced 2 new locations and a new biome. So the two new locations you can see over here, but the first location we're going to look at is Snowy Suburbs. So now, upon first glance, you might think, isn't this just Salty Suburbs? And, well, yeah, you're pretty much right. This is basically just Salty Suburbs. Just instead, the blue house got replaced by a log cabin. This log cabin is... It's really old. It's a really old log cabin. I don't know why I brought it back upon further inspection. But, there's a floating chair. And up here is the bedroom. I mean, it's definitely a log cabin. Over here is balcony. But other than that, there's not much else different about this location other than the fact it's covered in snow and the log cabin. I didn't show you guys, but this is like the final version of Seaside Stage with all the upgraded effects like these laser lights, the confetti, the lighting. You know, it feels very concert-like, and it's kind of what I was going for. Almost sort of like Fortnite Festival, but in mini, which was kind of the vibe I was going for, and I think this really achieves it. But now we're gonna look at the main attraction of Season 8. So here we have Boreal Base, which replaced Financial Facility. So sorry if you like Financial Factories, but like Central City, it is also completely gone. No more of it, it's gone. But they were both replaced by arguably way better locations. So Boreal Base is like a research facility. Boreal Base is like the more permanent research facility for this unnamed faction. It's got more to do. It's more equipped for research purposes. Like here is where some of the employees sleep. Here is where more research happens. Up here, not up here. This is down here. And then it also has an upstairs area where even more, more research happens. And there's a missing ceiling tile. Just gotta love when things are missing, because there's supposed to be this there, but it doesn't matter. Here's just another operating room, I guess, to operate on things. I don't know. And over here, across here, is another research area. I think it's kind of dark. And outside, there is this watchtower, which goes pretty high. But it's not high enough to where you can see above the trees, because these are very tall trees. Oh, this is just sort of a watchtower. So there's a dish up here. But also we have this new boreal forest biome, which I think looks pretty good. When I come in here, sometimes when I come in here, it kind of doesn't really feel like I'm on the house island map, because it's so different from the rest of the island, which uses Chapter 2 trees. This area uses Chapter 5/Chapter 6 trees. So I didn't mention this, but over the course of Season 7, Cactus City was slowly rebuilt, and in the beginning of Season 8, there was this new building that was being constructed. It's the outline of a building, and this apartment building was also fully rebuilt. And also at the beginning of Season 7, these purple trees appeared around the crater. I don't know, they just did. A very important plot point for Season 7 or Season 8 is that the prism over there is beginning to become more unstable as it spends longer out of its protection area, or it spends more time out in the open air. It's beginning to teleport things away. So Staggering Skyscraper, which it brought in Season 5, has gone away again, and also the gazebo roof from Peaceful Plaza has gone away, as well as the garage over here has vanished, leaving behind only dirt. But if you want to know the real reason why this is happening, it's because of memory reasons, but this is my canonical explanation as to why things are disappearing. The Grim Graveyard from the Halloween update last season is still here. It's one of the only things still here from Halloween. Did I say last year? I meant last season. This is the only thing left from Halloween last season, pretty much. Just Grim Graveyard, because I thought it was kind of nice and it wasn't taking up too much memory. So it's still here. It's still kind of got the spooky atmosphere until it gets covered in snow. In colorful crossroads over here, the playground has been turned into like this Christmas tree area. You can come and buy a Christmas tree here if you don't have one. It's like the only update Colorful Crossroads has seen in a long time. So that is it for Season 8. At its launch, Season 8 launched on November 28th, and right now when I'm recording this, it is December 23rd, so hasn't been quite a month yet, but over the past few weeks, Season 8 has changed, or the map has changed, also known as the snow. It has snowed on House Island again, so now I'm going to show you what House Island currently looks like as of recording this video. So here we are in the current version of House Island as of December 23rd, 2025. So last you saw, snowy suburbs in Boreal Base were covered in snow. Well, now there's a lot more snow. So now there's snow on Fantastic Freight, Colorful Crossroads, Cactus City even has snow in the desert. Even Peaceful Pond has gotten some snow. The majority of it's covered in snow, not all of it, but a majority of it. And also still has Slappy Springs has received some snow. So if we stand still for a little bit, you'll see there's actually snowfall. It's snowing. Now, in every location that is covered in snow, there's now a Christmas tree. So this is the Slappy Springs Christmas. Here's the Snowy Suburbs Christmas. The Boreal Base Christmas. Peaceful Pond has a few Christmas trees here at the entrance. Over Crossroads, it's a Christmas tree here. Fantastic Freight's got a Christmas tree right here in the middle. Cactus City also has a Christmas tree here. This building has further progressed. The walls have been put up, and signs like noms there's gonna be noms in here, and there's gonna be big shots in here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all the seasons of House Island that I've shown you guys, whether it be Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, Season 8, or Season 7, as well as some of the extra stuff I showed you, like the Halloween event, the flooded version of Season 6, and this version of Season 8 with all the Christmas stuff. The next House Island video will likely either be more looking at old House Island if you guys want to see that, or it'll be just House Island Season 9, because Season 9 is going to be a very special season. It'll be on the bit of the shorter side, but the length of Season 8 depends on how quickly I can get Chapter 2 done, or at least to a point where I can finish it quickly, or it's mostly done. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully the next video won't take so long to come out. This video took longer to come out than it was supposed to. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time